Incredible comeback, unbelievable playstyle. How exactly did RRQ defeat Team EVOS in the recent MPL Grand Finals? Hey guys, this is Assassin Dave and welcome to another episode of MPL Breakdown. In winner bracket final, game 1, RRQ ended the draft with some insane wombo combo. Alice, Grok, Farsa, and Faramis. On the other hand, EVOS ended up picking Ling, Claude at the same time. I mean, both of which are pretty late game heroes and require a lot of farm, and odds seem pretty bad for EVOS. But a crucial piece of the puzzle for EVOS for their victory in game 1 is definitely that Valier pick. Valier is one of the strongest heroes in defending jungle invade, and this allowed EVOS to safely farm their carries to their respective power spike. Well, that and lots of mistakes that should have not happened to teams such as RRQ. For example, carry face checking a bush, foreman chasing and using everything on Kufra, and so on and so forth. And EVOS finally took game 1. Coming to game 2, RRQ with their tremendous tournament experience was not intimidated by the disadvantage, went on using the current MPL most popular Claude hyper carry strategy. Besides the hyper focus on objectives over kills, there are some highlighted team fights as well. 5 minutes into the game, RRQ had already taken down most of the silent turrets, and they decisively collapsed on the defending EVOS in the mid lane, trading 3-0 and completely controlled the pace of the game. 10 minutes into the game, RRQ Lemon boosted with confidence, 1 versus 3 no problem, and secured RRQ the victory in game 2. In game 3, EVOS exposed a lot more basic mistakes that you do not expect from a team with this magnitude. A minute and a half into the game, instead of revolving around their hyper carry, EVOS pulled off a double support jungle invade. I mean, what? Not only did it lose their first blood, this also leaves carry vulnerable without protection, and carry died shortly afterwards. On top of it, game 3, EVOS feel like a bit confused in their laning phase. I mean, we constantly see Grok sitting mid lane, the only side laner EVOS had was Jawhead, and RRQ capitalized on that and took advantage of Uranus and Chao split pushing, put themselves in a convincing position on map control. 13 minutes into the game, EVOS are able to find some kills, but at what cost? RRQ has already secured a top high ground tower, leaving EVOS with only 1 outer turret. 15 minutes into the game, Sicilian secured the kill on Shin, but a beautiful and decisive rotation coming out of VYN saved the game for RRQ. He hit himself in the bush above the Lord, knowing that's EVO's next objective. 1 shot to carry and won the series for RRQ. Now, regarding Grand Final, I gotta say it's a bit challenging for EVOS because they walked into a best out of 5 almost right after a best out of 3 in the same day. Personally, I think that's not how tournament structure should be laid out, because on one side you have a relaxed RRQ ready to battle, and on the other you have EVOS who just finished a ferocious battle against another SEA giant on an esports. But hey, I mean, this is coronavirus time, you gotta cut the organizer some slack. So let's jump into the game and see what actually happened.
Slowly, both sides.
1 minute and 20 seconds into game 1 in the grand final, EVOS once again pulled a 2-man jungle invade and got punished by RRQ. I mean, does this minimap look familiar to you? 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the game, EVOS yet again exposed their carelessness in practice. Luminaire charging into melee distance with a level 4 Uranus and got himself killed right off the bat. Barjan chased the Kagura when his teammates 1-1 obviously had no interest in following up, and was still focusing on the Gold Crab and eventually got himself killed. This tiny stunt put EVOS behind by 2,000 gold. 5 minutes into the game, you can see EVOS kept on sacrificing objectives for no obvious reason. We see the same constant 4-man grouping of EVOS in the mid lane, leaving their side lane unchecked. We can almost see history repeating itself here, with RRQ heavily focusing on towers and turtles, and EVOS without a clear game plan or plan of engage. In 2 minutes, RRQ secured 3 towers, 1 turtle, only losing a single tower in the mid lane. Once RRQ secured advantage, they were heavily focused, got the Lord, paralleled the minion wave, and crushed EVOS in game 1.
The members of EVOS is looking for that flicker.
In game 2, EVOS was a lot more focused on objectives. 1 minute and 30 seconds into the game, EVOS 4-men rotated to the top lane, forcing the top tier 1 tower. Not only did they get the tower successfully, they also got 3 kills into their pocket, putting themselves in the controlling position of the game. 5 minutes into the game, EVOS secured every single tier 1 tower from their opposition and continued to pressure the side lane on the map, opening up the tier 2 tower on bot lane and force RRQ on their back foot.
Which they just need to find another few good.
Overflew with confidence. EVOS yet again exposed their trigger-happy attitude at 10 minutes into the game. Bruno wasting his flicker trying to chase a kill after Rafaela died, and EVOS have already secured the enemy red. They stayed around with no clear goal in mind and handed over the advantage they worked so hard for the entire game. Losing Lord, towers, and RRQ leveled up the playing field. The mistakes EVOS committed almost cost them the game, but a huge misplay from RRQ 14 minutes into the game, splitting marksman in top lane and 3 other people in mid, losing the team fight, and EVOS won the game in 1 play.
And they are gonna knock him away.
In game 3, despite the good early game EVOS had, they put another 2-man jungle invade, and surprise! Luminaire died, and it's almost deja vu now. For a big chunk of the game, EVOS was able to find kill picks here and there on the map, but they were not able to shut down Claude in time, and 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, EVOS missed almost every single one of the skill shot on LJ.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
While putting themselves in harm's way, losing 4 kills to RRQ. 6 minutes into the game, thanks to the power of EVO's trigger-happy playstyle, Rexy decided to challenge a level 10 Claude with a level 7 Natalia, not only feeding 1 more kill to this hyper carry, also losing the turtle at the same time. 10 minutes into the game, thanks to RRQ's signature silent pressure, they were able to pull off a 5 vs 4 teamfight on the bot side of the map, taking 3 kills from EVOS and taking bot tier 2 tower as well, solidifying their map control. 2 minutes after, Revive stole the Lord away with the assistance of Lemon, absolutely riding on the momentum they built up to this point, and knocked down 2 high ground towers at once. At 19 minutes of the game, one made a crucial mistake, baiting the entire EVOS into an unwanted teamfight, and RRQ took the game in 1 push and bring the game to the match point.
The second time that we are seeing.
What about game 4? Well, let's just say everyone was tired at game 4. I mean, just look at this positioning. We have literally 4 things being done at once all across the map. This is very uncharacteristic of either team. Lemon burning ultimate on a 1 HP minion. 2 men diving into base to chase after an unlikely kill. But after all this chaos, EVOS walked away on top and took the series to the full game 5. Talking about the last and final game, EVOS once again put a lot of hero numbers in mid lane, leaving the side lane wide open. RRQ took advantage of it, pushing the side lane and collapsed into EVOS jungle. 1 minute and 30 seconds into the game, Viva stole the red buff away from Granger's jungle and started to build that pressure to EVOS mentally. And just to add oil to the fire, just when 1 on Granger came back from the death, he got soloed by R7 on the bottom side without protection from his team, which only puts him further behind. 3:30 into the game, VYN landed a beautiful arrow on Valier, forced EVOS into another unwanted teamfight, wiping out 4 members and putting themselves at 4,000 plus gold lead. 6 minutes into the game, leaving only 1 outer turret for EVOS, RRQ took complete domination of the map, hyper focusing on objectives again and leaving EVOS inside their base. 10 minutes into the game, RRQ secured a Lord and sealed the fate for EVOS in a convincing fashion, managed the wave flawlessly, and forced a 5-man dive inside EVOS base and took the crown seat of the day. The takeaway for this tournament is, you have to focus on objectives rather than kills, and the team with a clear goal always wins. Before we end the video, I do have a bonus question. So I understand the social distancing aspect of the tournament and the event has to be hosted online, but does that mean you can have 6 or even more people sitting in one room when the game is going on? I mean, like, what the fuck?
Just for the thrill of it. benefit with you.